Joining us now to react, former RNC national spokesperson Elizabeth Pipko. Elizabeth, these universities are indoctrination factories, indoctrinating children who go to school there into these hate cults. That's where it begins. It didn't begin at home. They are largely responsible. They're taught this hatred of the Jews and hatred of Israel.
They are, and I want to add, they're also taught hatred of America. Those two things, they go together very often. At these rallies, which are basically anti-Semitic rallies, you very often see them burning American flags with the Israeli flag. You don't really see them waving proudly that American flag. So I hope people remember that they go together. And I also want to point out, you mentioned the ADL report. That number from last year, nearly 10,000, that was the largest number on record since the ADL began tracking these incidents in 1979. That is how much these instances are going up. That's how much anti-Semitism is on the rise. And it's happening in 2025 in America when our country is trying to be as progressive as possible and fight racism wherever we can, but apparently going backwards when it comes to anti-Semitism or any hatred for Jewish people.
Elizabeth, I'm not going to lie, I was shocked. I've been shocked by the anti-Semitism that we've seen, particularly when you look at some of those numbers we had mentioned after October 7th. Have you been surprised by what you've seen?
I don't think I've been surprised by the anti-Semitism. I've been surprised by the reaction, right? So we're talking about the Democratic leadership that you just pointed out that is going to visit this student who doesn't stand for anything that they claim to stand for, right? He doesn't stand for any of our American values, and they take the time to tell the world that they align with him. It's just like Democrats who travel to meet with MS-13 members. Apparently they want people to know they don't align with our American values. So I think the reaction is the real problem. You have to educate people and show them where you stand and take a stance when people are getting hurt and when thousands of Jewish students, and I know that because I've seen the messages, when thousands of Jewish students are reaching out to their leadership, begging for help, and this is how they respond, that's the part that I think is the most shocking.
Mm-hmm. These are the people, the left, the Democrats, who have cried to the heavens about the Nazis in the Republican Party taking over. And it's always, they always accuse others of being what they are. They always accuse others of doing what they are doing. And I think that speaks to he's Hitler, they're Nazis. There you go. I mean, who's anti-Semitic? The left, the Democrats. They foment it and they tolerate it. Now, on to this. Despite what the liberal media will have you believe, a new Fox News poll shows only 4% of Trump voters wish they voted differently in 2024. 4%, 89% A-OK with their vote. Elizabeth?
I mean, are we surprised? It just shows people how out of touch the media very often is and that you can't believe every headline that you see. Because the fact is people would love to convince their readership that Donald Trump is unpopular when in fact he's more popular than he's ever been since launching a career in politics back in 2015. The fact is all they do is lie. Like you said, they accuse others of what they are actually very much guilty of. They accuse Donald Trump of being a Nazi. Now who's standing up for Jewish students? Donald Trump. The same thing is here. People are very happy with their choice and they're going to continue to be very happy for the next 4 years.
Why do you think, so President Trump was able to increase his numbers with both Muslim voters as well as with Jewish voters as well. Why do you think he was able to do that despite being very pro-Israel?
Yeah, it's a very simple answer because he's a normal human being. He didn't want to pander to either group. He went to talk to folks and said, what are you looking for? He said, I want the bloodshed in the Middle East to end on both sides. He didn't look to his consultants to tell him what should I do in this case. He met with leadership from both groups. He said, what are you looking for and what can I bring to the table? And then he promised to deliver like any human being would. He's not a politician that owes, his numbers to anyone else. He's a politician that answers solely to the American people. It doesn't matter if they're Muslim, Jewish, or anyone else.
Elizabeth, great to see you.
You too.
Elizabeth,
Great to see you. Thank you.
We'll see you soon.